Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of The World Today for the week. It is a Southwest Network program of Radio Nigeria, Badazolno Station. Comprising news, feature, and sports. In the lineup, Nigeria-Hungary sign MOU to boost water resources. PSC warns against police misconduct during Anambra polls. The foreign scene, Tanzania lifts curfew after election violence. China mourns passing of former senior Korean diplomat. Heart of the matter is on reducing cases of Lassa fever, while the feature is on Arigbajo. I am Remy Omolola. Reading with me this afternoon is
Olubukola Enimola. Good afternoon. You can also listen to us on live stream via www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at Premier FM 93.5. Nigeria requires collective effort to make her great. Contribute your quota. And now the news in full. Nigeria and Hungary have signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU to enhance academic and technical cooperation in water management, innovation and climate resilience. The agreement sealed between a University of Technology and Economics and Nigeria's National Water Resources Institute, NWRI, in Kaduna, was a major highlight of Nigeria-Hungary Water Forum in Abuja. The forum, attended by government officials, engineers and researchers, aims to deepen collaboration in water management, technology development and the pursuit of sustainable resolutions to address Nigeria's water-related challenges. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utev, described the pact as a significant step towards enhancing technical capacity, fostering research collaboration, and driving innovation in water resources management. He said the partnership would promote advanced training of Nigerian engineers, support joint research on water security and climate adaptation, and enhance expertise exchange in flood control and basin management.
a psychologist, Mrs. Lydia Adelado, wants Nigerians to pay close attention to their mental health by not overshooting their daily stress levels to avoid depression. Mrs. Adelado stated this while featuring on Straight Talk, an interview program on Premier FM 93.5. The developmental psychologist from the University of Ibadan listed stresses to include loss of loved ones, peer pressure, economic hardship, deadlines to meet, and failures in life. She offered practical solutions to depression and suicidal tendencies, such as showing acts of kindness to those around, self-awareness, and self-loving.
To have compassion on yourself. Once you become aware of yourself, the next thing is you love yourself. And the loving of oneself is not selfishness.
Mrs. Adelado advised parents not to put pressure on their children to choose courses that they do not have the capacity for. Rather, they should understand their strengths and weaknesses to avoid driving them into depression.
Mental influence is key because during adolescent period, the prefrontal cortex of the brain is not fully developed, and it's a part of the brain that tells us the consequences of our action. And because it is not fully developed in an adolescent may not be able to actually come to terms with the consequences of the actions they want to go into. And that is why parental influence is key. And that is why it is expedient for adolescents to pay attention to what your parents are saying.
Mrs. Adelada urged people with unstable mental health to seek professional help early because it degenerates into psychosis.
In furtherance of the commemoration of World Stroke Day, the African Stroke Organization, ASO, has urged governments across Africa to prioritize stroke care and treatment by investing massively in treatment and community-based rehabilitation for all persons living with stroke. The association emphasized that every minute counts in stroke care and immediate action is necessary to save lives and prevent long-term disabilities. Stakeholders in the management of the disease also advocated the creation of stroke units and rehabilitation centers to promote care of sufferers. They called for the integration of stroke care into national health plans and policies to ensure sustainable funding and resource allocation. They also emphasized primordial prevention methods such as healthy lifestyle habits from childhood to prevent the development of risk factors, encouraging balanced diet rich in fruits, leafy green vegetables, all grains, exercise, and stay away from smoking.
Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has called on African nations to urgently enhance their air traffic management ATM capacity. Mr. Keyamo disclosed this at the 36th International Federation of Air Traffic Controllers Association Africa and Middle East Region meeting holding in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. He underscores that while advanced technology is essential, the real cornerstone of aviation safety lies in continuous training and retention of skilled air traffic controllers. The minister revealed that through the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, government is modernizing communication, navigation, and surveillance CNC systems and upgrading ATM infrastructure. He added that ongoing initiatives include expanding traffic programs and introducing mental health and well-being support for air traffic personnel. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Agency also emphasized the need for stronger regional collaboration to accelerate safety oversight and certification processes, noting that aviation success demands a boundless collective commitment.
The Nigerian Christian Program Commission, NCPC, has called on the United States and its allies to strengthen cooperation with Nigeria in intelligence sharing, counter-terrorism training, and humanitarian assistance instead of issuing threats of military intervention. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Bishop Stephen Adegbite, made the appeal during a media briefing in Abuja, warning that any foreign military action could destabilize the West African sub-region. They urged foreign partners to avoid narratives that could inflame sectarian tensions and described Nigeria as a multi-ethnic democracy of over 220 million people and 250 ethnic groups where Christians and Muslims have coexisted for generations. Bishop Adegbite also emphasized that religious leaders in Nigeria remain united against violence, noting that Christians and Muslim leaders should collaborate under the Nigeria Interreligious Council to promote peace and understanding. He urged international partners and others to recognize Nigeria's ongoing efforts and to offer technical support and humanitarian aid that strengthen national security and unity rather than external military pressure.
Political parties and their candidates participating in this year's Saturday Anambra State governorship election have signed a peace accord, pledging to uphold non-violence and respect the outcome of the polls. The Peace Pact, organized by the Kukwa Center under the auspices of National Peace Committee, chaired by former head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar and Bishop Matthew Kuka, was signed at the International Convention Center, Awka, Anambra State. The event was attended by representatives of Independent National Electoral Commission, security agencies, traditional rulers, and candidates of major political parties, including the All Progressive Grand Alliance, All Progressive Congress, People's Democratic Party, Labour Party, African Democratic Congress, Accord Party, and others. INEC Chairman Professor Joasha Mokweto said INEC had addressed the perennial challenge of logistics, adding that all election materials should arrive at polling units by 7 a.m., while voting will commence at 8:30 in the morning without delay. The INEC chairman said that the commission had approved a final register of 2,802,790 eligible voters, with 24,000 personnel to be deployed across the 5,718 polling units, 326 wards collation centers, and 21 local government collation centers in Awka. He assured parties that collation of results will be done transparently and in the presence of party agents, with results strictly aligned to the bimodal voter accreditation system records. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, represented by Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ben Okoro, assured of political security across all the 21 local government areas of the state.
Police Service Commission staff monitors have been deployed to the 3 senatorial districts of Anambra State to monitor police conduct during the Saturday's governorship election in the state. National Coordinator and Chairman of the Commission, Mr. Ashimu Aragongo, warned that police officers on electoral duties must exhibit a high level of impartiality and discipline, urging them to ensure that both the electoral officers and the electoral materials are protected. The PSC chairman also directed that the policemen on election duty must ensure that a conducive environment is created for the people of Anambra State to vote without fear, adding that officers who compromise the rules of engagement should be sanctioned. Mr. Arugungu said the Anambra election should be a test case for the police as the nation prepares for the 2027 general election. He expressed happiness with the preparations so far put in place by the Anambra State Police Command, especially the State Commissioner, Mr. Ikioye Orutugo, who, according to reports, has recently visited all the area commands and known flash points in the state to underscore the readiness of the police to ensure a free and fair election.
The Koro State Police Command has launched an investigation following allegations that some of its officers were involved in extortion. The incident reportedly took place at Osi Eruku Road in Ekiti local government area, while a video of the alleged act has been circulating on social media. The command spokesperson, Superintendent Adetonwe Ejiri Adeyemi, assured that appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken if the officers involved were identified and found guilty. He added that the command remained committed to upholding professionalism, integrity, and accountability in all its operations.
Oyo State is set to roll out the drums in honor of its founding fathers, past leaders, and illustrious citizens as it marks the 50th anniversary in February 2026. The chairman of Oyo at 50 Celebrations Committee, Mr. Said Fijabi, disclosed this at a press conference held at the Local Government Training School Secretariat in Ibadan. He said the Golden Jubilee would not only celebrate the state's remarkable journey since its creation in 1976, but also pay tribute to those who shaped its destiny from inception. According to him, the celebration would honor both military, civilian leaders and all who have contributed to its growth from inception till date, from Colonel David Jemi Benwo and a pioneer military governor in 1976 to the incumbent governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde. Mr. Fijabi said the activities marking the celebration will be spread across all 6 geopolitical zones of the state, involving people from all walks of life, the executive, legislature, and judiciary, as well as traditional and religious institutions, artisans, students, farmers, entrepreneurs, and persons living with disabilities. As part of efforts to make the event inclusive and engaging, the committee also announced the Oyo at 50 logo theme and mascot challenge, inviting designers, artists, and creative minds from within and outside the state to submit entries that capture our past achievements, our present vibrant, and our ambitious vision for the future. Submissions for entries could be sent via email to oyostate50@oyostate.gov.ng or through WhatsApp on 0916 312 1000 with attractive rewards awaiting winners.
The Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, will on Friday promote 6 high and senior chiefs on the Otun Olubadan line in accordance with the Ibadan chieftaincy law. The elevation following the vacancies created by the enthronement of Oba Ladoja, who previously served as the Otun Olubadan before ascending the throne as the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. Those billed for promotion include Oba Eddie Oyewole, Oba Abiodun Koladaisi, Oba Hamidu Ajibade, Oba Adebayo Akande, Senior Chief Kola Babalola, and Senior Chief Lekan Alabi. Under the new arrangement, Oba Oyewole will move from Osi Olubadan to Otun Olubadan. Oba Koladaisi will move from Ashikma Olubadan to Osi Olubadan. Oba Hamidu Ajibade will rise from Ekerin Olubadan to Ashikma Olubadan. Oba Adebayo Akande will advance from Ekarun Olubadan to Ekerin Olubadan. Senior Chief Kola Babalola will move from Abese Olubadan to Ekarun Olubadan. And Senior Chief Lekon Alabi will be elevated from Maye Olubadan to Abese Olubadan. The promotion ceremony will hold at the newly built Olubadan Palace, Okearimo, in Ibadan, Oyo State.
The Nigerian Army has vowed to safeguard the nation's energy interests through enhanced interagency collaboration. The new flag officer commanding FOC Eastern Naval Command ENC, Rear Admiral Chidozie Okehie, made the remark during his official assumption of office in Calabar. Rear Admiral Okehie said the mission of the present Chief of Naval Staff was to develop and deploy a highly motivated and professional naval force capable of safeguarding Nigeria's maritime interests. The FOC said its mission would be based on the philosophy that would be focused on discipline, merit, accountability, welfare, and operational excellence in steering the affairs of the Eastern Naval Command. He explained that the highly motivated and professional naval force capable of safeguarding Nigeria's maritime interests and effective in joint operations in the defense, passability, and internal stability would be targeted for the mission.
The Nigerian Army has denied reports circulating on social media alleging that photographs released in its recent announcement on the rescue of 2 kidnapped victims in Kogi were taken several months ago. A statement signed by Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 12th Brigade Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Hassan Abdullahi, and posted on X. The Army described the claim as false, insisting that the images used were taken during the operation. Statement maintained that the photographs were captured during the rescue mission carried out on the 2nd of November 2025 by troops deployed at Forward Operation Base Oguma, which led to the rescue of 2 kidnapped victims and the recovery of ransom at Ogele Forest. It adds that the Nigerian Army maintained a high standard of professionalism, integrity, and accountability in all its media engagements.
This is the world today, the stories that made the headlines. Nigeria and Hungary have signed MOU to boost water resources. PSC is warned against police misconduct during Anambra poll. Still to come in the news, Tanzania lifts curfew after election violence, and China mourns passing of former senior Korea Democrat. To stay with us.
You're still with us on the Southwest Network of the News. Now to the foreign scene. Curfew and internet blackout restrictions have been partially lifted after election erupted into violence, as some Tanzanians are venturing out. It will be recalled that the country's Electoral Commission said President Samia Hassan won the October 29 polls with 98% of the votes. Reports say that a total internet blackout in place since protests broke out on election day has been partially eased, but verifiable information out of the East African country remains tricky. It was observed a slow return of normalcy in the economic capital Dar es Salaam, although people remain scared. Police yesterday announced the lifting of a curfew imposed on election day.
China has urged the international community to respect Nigeria's sovereignty following the U.S. threat of military action. The Chinese government reiterated its support for President Bola Tinubu's administration, commending the government for guiding the country along a development path tailored to its national conditions. The spokesperson for China's foreign military, Mao Ning, stated this at a press briefing in Beijing. Recently, the U.S. threatened Nigeria with possible military action due to the alleged persecution of Christians in the country.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has met with Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mustatin in Beijing, calling for enhanced cooperation on multiple fronts and better synergy of development strategies. Xi Jinping said since the beginning of this year, China and Russia have navigated a turbulent external environment with great composure, aiming for higher level and higher quality development goals. He added that maintaining consolidation and advancing bilateral relations is a strategic choice for both sides. Russian President Vladimir Putin said the two countries should maintain close coordination, fully implement the important common understanding reached by the two leaders, and work to expand the pie of cooperation with an eye on the fundamental interests of the two countries and their people, so as to contribute more to world peace and development.
China has expressed deep condolences in regard to the death of the former chairman of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Kim Yoon-nam. Kim Yoon-nam died yesterday at the age of 97. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning at a regular press briefing in Beijing described Kim as an old friend of the Chinese who had led several delegations to China during his lifetime and made important contributions to promoting the traditional friendship and cooperation between China and DPRK. China expressed sincere sympathy to the family of the deceased.
An avalanche at a mountain-based camp in eastern Nepal has killed 7 people, including 3 Italians. Report says the avalanche hit a group of 12 people at the base camp of 5,630-meter Yawi yesterday morning. The expedition organizer said efforts were underway to retrieve their remains.
And today's Out of the Matter, an intern from the Osun State University Kiri campus, Happiness Onoche, writes on reducing cases of Lassa fever.
Lassa fever has remained a recurring health challenge in Nigeria and other parts of the world. This hemorrhagic illness is caused by Lassa virus, which is carried by a type of rat called the multimammate rat, also known as Mastomys rat. The disease is not spread through air, but through direct contact with the food or household items contaminated with the urine or droppings of the infected rat. These rats are very common in West Africa, as they often live in human homes and surroundings. One can also get infected through body-to-body contact, infected person's urine, saliva, and sweat. It can also be contacted by eating infected bushmeat or through contaminated medical equipment. When infected, one would experience signs and symptoms like tiredness, headaches, fever, and body pains, which usually appear within the first 3 weeks after contamination. Since the last outbreak of Lassa fever in Nigeria, the number of reported cases has fluctuated in some states such as Edo, Nasarawa, Ondo, Taraba, and Ebonyi, experiencing higher infection rate than others. According to report, hundreds of new cases are recorded annually, with Nigeria reporting a significant number of Lassa fever cases each year. This year alone, there have been 897 confirmed cases and 168 deaths across 21 states. Last month, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, reported that 172 people has died from Lassa fever so far in the most affected state, accounting for 67% of infections are Ondo, Bauchi, Edo, Taraba, and Ebonyi. Lassa fever affects the public in different dimensions, as it reduces quality treatment by medical experts due to its high fatality rate. During the outbreaks, experts such as nurses, doctors, and lab staff are at high risk of contracting Lassa fever if they don't make use of protective gears. In response to this outbreak, NCDC urges states to strengthen community engagement on prevention and improve early cases detection. It also calls on healthcare workers to stay vigilant and implement strict infection control practices. In order to avoid more cases of Lassa fever and its alarming death record, Nigerians should try to avoid contact with rodents, which are the primary carriers of storing food in a very safe place away from the rodent reach. The public are also advised to maintain proper hygiene and seek medical advice once there are any noticeable symptoms. Wearing of protection mask can also be helpful to prevent this illness. In conclusion, Government should fund healthcare centers and also provide enough health infrastructure in order to assist health workers in their jobs. NCDC is also advised to put up campaigns through various media for more awareness in order to enlighten the public about the illness, causes, symptoms and its preventions, while also emphasizing on environmental sanitation to control rodent population and also train healthcare workers on Lassa fever management across the geopolitical zones in the country.
That script on reducing cases of Lassa fever was written by an intern from Osun State University, Ikiri campus, Happiness Onoche, and read by Dayo Adenuga.
There is a town in Ogun State with its name formed from the word calabash. Let's join Olubunmi Agbola for details.
Arigbajo town is situated near Ifo town, adjoining Akpomu in Ewekoro local government area of Ogun State. After the alligator pepper war in 1820s, the Owu in a large number departed from Abeokuta and settled at Okeata, Okeago-Owu, and Totoro in Abeokuta. Some years later, they left Abeokuta towards Lagos Road, which is part of their land under conquest. As they were living in Bashes, Osunjobi, one of their group leaders, opted for a bush near Wasimi on Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway to settle. Osunjobi was skilled in calabash drumming and was also a professional dancer. Having settled in the area, Osunjobi named the place Arigbajo, meaning the one who dances with the rhythm of calabash. The name symbolizes Osunjobi, calabash, and his dancing prowess. However, with time and from generation to generation, the pronunciation of Arigbajo was changed to Arigbajo.
That feature on Arigbajo was written by Titilayo Kukbolui.
Turn the news on the world today from the stable of Radio Nigeria. Here again are the day's top stories. Nigeria-Hungary have signed MOU to boost water resources. PSC has warned against police misconduct during Anambra poll. And we also told you that Tanzania has lifted curfew after election violence, and China mourns passing a former senior Korea Democrat.
Well, that's it on the world today. Join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of the program. Modukpetoba Edison. I am Remi Omolola from my colleague Olubukola
Enimola. Thank you for your time. As shortly we'll be linking with our studio in Abuja for the next program. Do stay tuned.